Hi, this is Jake Holhouse with HH Insurance, and today we wanted to reach out with an update about what's going on with Citizens Insurance and why you might have received a letter from Citizens asking for proof of a verification that your property is your primary residence. So to get started, I'd like to talk about why they are doing this. So in Florida, the legislature met in December 2022, and part of that was to bring stability to the marketplace by passing historic reforms that long term will create stabilization and potentially rate decreases to the marketplace. As part of that special session, one of the items included in the bills was that citizens could raise their rates by up to 50% for non primary residences. And so that's a big deal when it comes to insurance rates with citizens, as primary residents are capped in terms of the amount of rate increase that somebody can take. So let's start with what is Citizens. So Citizens is a state-run insurer of last resort in Florida. It was created by the Florida legislature to provide property insurance coverage to homeowners and businesses that are unable to obtain coverage from private insurance companies. Citizens was established because of the basically hard to place, typically high risk coastal type areas. And the idea of Citizens was to be the insurance company of last resorts, basically to offer coverage when the private market was not willing to offer coverage. The challenge of Citizens over the past really 5 or so years has been that Citizens grew to a size that it is not designed to be. So Citizens went from, really where Citizens should be size wise is in the range of probably about 300,000 policyholders. That would be a healthy marketplace size for Citizens, in our opinion. However, Citizens has grown to over 1.3 million policyholders. And so there's a lot of political pressure to make Citizens smaller, as it is not healthy for the state of Florida to have Citizens at the size that it currently is. So why does Florida not want Citizens to be this big? Well, one is the rates are artificially low. So the rates are not really what we call actuarially sound, and they are not essentially priced to the amount of risk on there. Second is the financial risk. And so while Citizens is separate from the state of Florida, meaning that Citizens could go bankrupt, it is likely that in the event of insolvency, the state would be on the hook for the claims that Citizens is not covering. And unfortunately, unlike the federal government, Florida cannot print money. And so there is a large multi-billion dollar exposure to Citizens at the size that it currently is if an area like Dade and Broward County were hit with a hurricane. Another thing is the market distortion, is that Citizens basically artificially makes prices lower than they necessarily should be. Another is assessments. So what a lot of people don't realize is that by being a Citizens policyholder, you could actually be assessed if Citizens runs out of money in the event of claims. And so as a result of that, the legislature is very motivated to get Citizens to be smaller and reduce the financial risk to the state as well as the assessment risk to policyholders. So as a result of that, Citizens is looking to find out basically if your property is a primary residence as a result of this December 2022 special session. If it is a primary residence, your rate increase should be capped in the ballpark neighborhood of an average of about 12%. Now, when we say 12%, one thing to keep in mind is that with inflation, the cost of construction has gone up significantly in the year 2023. And so as a result of that inflation, it is driving, rates up. because basically homes, you have to insure the house for a higher value. And then there's what's called an age of home curve, meaning that every year a house gets older, it also takes on additional risk and has a higher premium on there. So it's 12% rate increase typically, but it could actually be larger than that when you get your actual bill from Citizens. Now, if it's a non-primary residence, those homes are facing approximately about a 40 to 45% rate increase. And that is basically to bring it into market alignment with where the state believes rates should be. So if the property is your primary home, meaning that you live in the property 9 months or more per year, or it is an annual rental, meaning that you rent the property to somebody else on an annual basis, you get to keep your rate cap, but Citizens needs to verify your occupancy. So what are they accepting for documentation to verify this? They're basically accepting a homestead exemption, a voter registration card, your Florida driver's license, your Florida identification card, military papers showing your address, a utility bill, a vehicle registration. Those are all if it's owner occupied. And if it is annually leased, they will accept a lease agreement executed within the past 12 months for a 12-month term. So, what should I do? If this is not your primary residence or not an annual rental, you will be subject to this higher rate increase. As a result of the increase, we would recommend looking at shopping your policy to another carrier outside of Citizens. If you're a customer of HH Insurance, we automatically do that for you. If you're not a customer of HH Insurance, we would be happy to take a look at that policy for you and see if there's other options. One thing I do caveat and kind of side note this with is that Citizens has been so far underpriced for so long that even with the 40 to 50% annual rate increase, it is often still going to be the best carrier in the marketplace, but we can absolutely look at alternative options on there. So if you're not one of our customers, HH Insurance, we are the #1 customer experience insurance agency in Florida. We were founded in 2018, but my family has been in the insurance business in Florida for over 50 years, and we're based on the principles of knowledge, markets, and service to our customers. And we have a highly motivated team looking to provide you with the best insurance solutions and give you a second opinion as to what you're currently looking at rate wise on your policies. So if you'd like to reach out to us, you can give us a call at 727-498-5551 or send us an email to sales@hhinsgroup.com. And to best assist you, if you have a copy of the letter that Citizens sent you, along with a copy of your current declaration page available, we will need to take a look at that with you to be able to help you on this. So thanks, and I hope you have an amazing day.